It's late, but I did it. I got this episode out, and I didn't think I would. I did have a little more time, but the day I wanted to record, there was a disruption, so I couldn't. But I have it here. It's out late. But this episode, I'm talking about giving yourself some grace, especially when the world is not giving it to you. I've been really hard on myself the past, few months, I would say. I haven't felt confident in any area of my life, and it was really starting to impact me. And I almost quit my internship because for a second I thought that maybe what I was doing, it just wasn't time yet. I didn't know, but I powered through. I'm still here, and I'm on the other side. And I'm grateful that the universe is teaching me just how much I need to trust my intuition and just how strong that pull is. But, I asked for the lesson, and it's been so hard, but it's all making sense now. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope to talk to you all soon. Bye. I'm back with season 2. It's Basement Philosophies, and I'm your host, Brittany. Here, we won't follow the script of the mainstream media. We'll talk about real life, real problems, and now that I'm a new mom, we're going to talk about that too. Welcome back, and I'm so happy that you're here. Let's get to it. Good morning. It is the morning time on a Friday. I don't really like to put these out on Fridays because no one really listens because it's the weekend, but whatever, it's fine because I was going to put it out on Wednesday, but that day, so I want to record so that I'm ahead, but honestly, it's impossible for me to record that much right now. But that day I was going to record, the smoke alarm was going off, and I wasn't sure if I unplugged that one to take the battery out, if it would make the whole thing go crazy, because some houses are wired like that. So I just left it alone, because if you know me, like me and technology, no, we are not friends, not go with it. So so that's why I'm late, because I did have the time, but just couldn't. But it's probably best that I rested anyway. But I hope you all are doing great. I have had a pretty rough week. Just the internship going pretty hard. I guess my transition from taking care of my baby to being a mom and going to the office and doing all that, it was a super hard transition, and I wasn't given really any grace with that. So it's so weird. Like, it's almost like I keep saying, I don't want to use me being a mom as an excuse, but it's not an excuse when it's just like my reality. Like, my reality is I have a 4-month-old and I have to work around that. I have to. That's just the way it is. And then I had a meeting with one of my supervisors, and really not the one that mattered, in my opinion. But it just did not go well. So it was almost like, yeah, I know it's hard, but figure it out. And I was like, but I am. Like, I am figuring it out. But ultimately, it was just not a cool meeting, and some really tough things were said about me. And I am one for constructive criticism, but, it still hurts. Like, I'm a human. So, I don't know. It's been a really crazy week. And at one point, I thought that maybe I couldn't hack it. Like, maybe I went back too early, and maybe, like, I needed to take a step back and wait till Quinn was older to finish. And one of the girls that, I interned with, she was like, but you're here and you're doing it, so I don't see the problem. And everybody agreed, and I was like, thank you. Like, because it was very validating, because I just been getting, like, all of these bad, like you missed this and you didn't do this and this is wrong and this is wrong. And I was believing it, and then like there was a part of me that was like, but I feel like I'm getting better. Like I feel like everything's leveling out, and it still wasn't good enough. And it was just like, okay, but it didn't balance out fast enough. And I said, and like to me, that's crazy. And I was like, but maybe it is me. Like maybe I'm not ready. And I just was starting to doubt myself. And it's so weird because in my insides, I was like, no, I'm getting better. Like, I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be doing this. But at the same time, you hear so many bad things. And you're like, okay, maybe they're right. I mean, they know more than me. And it was just so crazy how I was just able, like, to start questioning myself so quickly. And I'm not usually like that. But, things are so hard. And I've been going through all of that because like as a mom, I'm like, I should be able to handle all of this. I should be able to do better. And you always want to do better. And I don't understand why even me, I feel like since I had a baby, I'm suddenly not human. And and I am, and society does the same thing. Like, we're expected as moms to do it all without any sleep or barely eating or no time to ourselves. Like these basic human instincts, and it's like accepted and expected that we don't need them. And I don't know, like to admit that I was drowning was hard enough, but to not get like support there, it was really painful because then at the end of it, after you get no support, you're like, well, am I? Like, should I be doing better? Like, why can't I handle this stuff? And I don't know. It's crazy. Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm just tired. Like, I can't handle all of it all by myself. Like, I just can't. So, whether I'm weak or not, or incompetent or not, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because I'm drowning, or I was. I'm not anymore. That was just weeks ago, but I was just like, I can't hack it, I guess. So I almost stepped back from the internship, but thankfully I had a talk with a few people, and they were just like, don't quit. Like, this is just one person saying this. And I was like, but they're not wrong, like they weren't wrong. And they're like, you have to give yourself some credit. Like, give yourself some grace. If she's not going to give you grace, then like give yourself some grace. And then, another woman was like, I don't understand where the human decency is. Like, she's like, I hear you want to be doing this, but you do have a child and that plays into it. And I was like, I know. And she was like, no, and that's okay. She was like, because you're here and you're doing it and you have, and you take care of your daughter the rest of the time. And I said, yeah, I know I do. And she was like, no. She was like, not only do you have your 4-month-old, but your brain has changed. Your body has changed, your hormones, like all of that is a thing. And as a woman, she's like, I can take that into consideration and be fine with that and give you grace because it is a big change. And she's like, she's not one to like stroke your ego. She was like, if there is something that's a problem and you need to address it, I will tell you immediately. She's like, you know me. And I said, thank you. So like, I'm so grateful for her. I'm so grateful for the validation that these women gave me. And I just thanked God. I thanked them. And it was just something that I really needed to hear because I felt like a failure. And it's just, when you get no good feedback for a long, long time, you start to get run down. But thankfully, I got a little bit of the feedback that I needed. So that's where we are with that. But so far, still doing the internship, and hopefully all of this nonsense kind of fizzles out and I can just keep going. So we'll see. We'll see how it is. Today's my brother's birthday. He'll never ever hear this, but happy birthday to him. I didn't realize it was his birthday, and I like texted him and I was like, I was like, hey, about this Blackstone that you have, you know, those like Blackstone grills. He was like, really? It's my birthday and that's what you're going to ask? And I was like, oh, is it the 23rd? My bad. So happy birthday to him because I didn't realize what day it was. Whoops. I think he's 42. He said 32, so I'm guessing it's 42. So anyways, that was funny. But, you know, there was a funny story, and I was like, Jamie, I'm going to tell this to everyone because I can't believe you just said that. So she comes over to help me with the baby when I have to go to the office, and we're talking, and I'm listening. And so, mind you, I have a 4-month-old that doesn't like sleep. Like, she's allergic to sleeping right now. Getting better, but again, she's allergic to sleeping. But it's a lot better right now. But when she was saying this, you know, I got like a couple hours of sleep, like in the past few days. And what sleep I did get, it was me holding her in a chair, like not comfortable sleep. So she's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's happening, but I am having the most vivid dreams ever. She's like, oh my gosh, and I'm so tired when I wake up. And I look at her, and I'm like, is she trying to tell me she's sleeping so hard that it's making her tired? And she's like, you have no idea how tired I am. And I looked at her, and I was like, I might have a little idea. And she looked at me like, almost like she was gonna say, how do you know? But she was like, oh, wait, you have a baby and you never sleep. And I was like, you literally are sleeping so hard that your dreams are so vivid that you wake up tired. And I was like, but I mean, you know, I'm sorry that you're going through that. And I really hope you recover from your very vivid dreams. And we just like keep laughing so hard. And last night I was like texting her and I was like, hey, remember when you said you were sleeping so hard that you're tired? And she was like, yeah. It's so funny. But, you know, she is tired though because she got a new puppy. And I know that you're not supposed to relate puppies and babies, but like they're equally hard. Like it's so hard to have a puppy and it's so hard to have a baby. And she's like, man, I'm so tired, and he just won't be still and he gets into everything. And I was like, I know, puppies are so hard to take care of. And I was like, but I am like really glad that you got a puppy because I was getting really jealous of all the rest and sleep you were getting. And she's like, yeah, thanks. So it was really funny. But she got a new puppy. I think it's a lab. And she says it's dumb. But he's so cute. But he's in everything. And it's really, really hilarious. And I can't wait to meet him. But can't meet him. I guess he needs shots. But Luna really needs a friend. And nobody wants to be Luna's friend because she just loves too hard and too strong. So we're hoping that they can be best friends, but I don't know. I have a pool, so I think her dog will jump like right in there. Don't labs love dogs? Love pools like water? I bet he just jumps right in there, no, not even thinking. So we'll see what happens. I get to meet him next week, finally. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on. So I know I keep saying that I'm going to have guests because I can only imagine that you all are sick of hearing just me talk. So I have asked quite a few people and they all really want to, but you know, the timing of it is so hard. Like even me, like by myself, it's hard for me to schedule it. And then, y'all can go find my sister and yell at her because she's the one that's dragging her feet. I know she will not come on here and talk. She wants to. She said she does, but I don't know. She just won't. And then, so then I was gonna ask, you know, my partner, but he doesn't even know I have this podcast. I don't think so. Like maybe when we're drinking wine. I can ask him. He would do it. He would totally do it. Like, he would totally do it. But so I'm thinking about asking him. And then my doula, I ask her. And then one of the birth assistants, who is also like my bestie now, but she has like 4 kids. So how hard is that? And she's in school because she's going to be a midwife. How cool is that? And so, and then, you know, all the other people that I want to have on here, like, I'm just not well known enough for them to be able to fit me in. They were like, why are you trying to contact me? I have no time for your shit. You know, so that's where we are with that. But I am trying, but this kind of ties in now that I'm thinking about it. So my, this internship is going to change my life. I already know that because it changes you so much as a person, changes the way you think, the way you see things. It's crazy. But something, you know, that, well, my on-site supervisor was like, can you please stop calling yourself brand new? It's annoying. She's like, it's getting old real fast. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And so I got to stop saying I'm brand new. But then I get these conflicting messages because my other supervisor, I won't say where she's at or who she is, she basically says, well, you're brand new. You don't have, you know, the skills, the experience to deal with so-and-so. And so, like, I already think that because, you know, I'm new. And then you have someone who validates it, her. And then I go and talk to someone else and they're like, oh my God, why are you like this? And then I was like, well, you know, I was thinking I was new and I shouldn't be in there fiddling with all this. And then someone validated that. She was like, oh my God, this is such a mess. And I said, I know. So she was like, you have to learn to get out of your own way. She's like, that is what's hindering you right now. You are the one person that is holding you back. And I'm just like, wow, that is so true. And she's just talking about my work. And I was just like, that is so true. She's like, I'm talking about your work. And I was like, yeah, but it is so true for my entire life. She's like laughing. And I was like, I am holding myself back. And she's like shaking her head. And I was like, that is so true. I am my own worst enemy. And it's so true. I'm holding myself back because I'm always like, I'm not good enough. I'm brand new. It's just like this podcast. Like, why would anybody want to talk to me? Why would anybody listen? And it's just kind of like, hey, gosh, Brittany, you're being so hard on yourself. And like, so I don't know if any of you have ever worked with your inner child. So I started to right before the baby was born, and I have to get back into it because that is the hardest work I've ever done. I told you that I thought it was fucking the stupidest thing when she suggested it, but it is not the stupidest thing. It is crazy hard, crazy powerful, and I just realized I need to go talk to my inner child later today. Because what if I was saying all of that to her? What if there's this little version of me, little cute little me sitting all by herself because nobody ever wanted to play with me because I was super weird and the youngest of 3, or, you know, the youngest and my cousin, and they didn't want to play because they were mean to me and so I was mean to them. It's just one big mess. And I just think of her sitting by herself, like, what if I was saying, like, you should be better, and I think of these things, and it's such a powerful tool when it comes to changing the way your mind works. Like, CBT is so awesome. Stop thinking is a powerful tool. So if you ever have thoughts and they're just very detrimental to, you know, your confidence level or just how you feel about yourself in general, because, you know, I've told you, I struggle with self-worth. My confidence has plummeted since this internship started. And not my confidence as in, like, I'm going to walk outside and care what you think I look like. No, I don't give a shit. I don't care if you think I look terrible or if I have roots or like my boobs are saggy or I carry a little extra weight in my stomach. No, I don't effing care. Maybe with my partner a little bit because I look so different. But even then, he's not like, ew, yeah, gross. No, he's just like, you're beautiful. Like, stop. And you had a baby. Can you not? And I'm just like, thank you. You know, like, why am I being so mean to myself? I have no idea. So I'm definitely working on that. But it doesn't mean that it's not there. So when I talk about my confidence level, it's in my work. It's my transition from, being just me to being a mom and now to being a working mom. And it's so effing different than my life like 2 years ago. And it's so freaking hard. It's so hard. And I'm not even going to sit here. I can't do it all. I don't want to do it all. I'm very, very tired. And like the fact that I guess I see... No, it's not even that. It's not that I see people doing it all. Like, I see people doing it all, and I know what's behind that. Exhaustion. There's tears and exhaustion behind that. Nobody can do it all. But it like, I know that. I know the reality behind that. I think it was just the lack of support, the lack of, people telling me, like, I know it's hard. There was, like, I had no validation from anyone for so long, and I'm just like, maybe it's me. Like, maybe it really is just me. But people don't like to talk about how hard things are. Like, mom guilt's a real thing, and not being able to do it all in this society, I don't know. It's almost like people are ashamed of that. Okay, I'm here to tell you I'm not ashamed. I'm tired, and, I know that there are so many things to worry about when you're having a baby for the first time and you're pregnant for the first time and, labor and delivery and all that. But one of my biggest fears, aside from just like having a baby, like, giving birth and then having a baby, it was the exhaustion, the lack of sleep that comes with it. And people will be like, really? That was your biggest fear? Yeah, because I've never been someone that, wasn't able to rest. And I knew that I wasn't going to be able to rest ever again. So it really scared me. And now that I'm in it, yeah, you can survive and you can do it, but that doesn't mean that it's easy. And it's still like, I know why I was afraid of it, because it's so hard. I'm so tired. And, but you get up and you do it and you amaze yourself at how much you can do with very, very little sleep. And I know there are people out there who have the partner that splits everything 50-50. And like I said, that's just not my household. And it seems this be the case for a lot of people that I talk to. Like, this is pretty much the normal, and I'm not saying that as in that makes it okay. It's just that's where we are right now, and I think it's up to us to really change that dynamic. But when you're in the thick of it, you honestly, I know for me personally, I don't really bring up the topic a lot. It does happen. Like, I do bring it up sometimes, but I don't bring it up a lot because you just don't have the energy to have the argument, right? And you don't want to fight in front of the baby. And then, like, when the baby's asleep, the last thing you want to do is to be like arguing with your partner. It's just, you don't want that. So you just kind of try to keep the peace. But I will say that I do snap off if I'm very tired, especially if he has anything to say, because then I'm just like, why don't you go take care of the baby? Like, why don't you wake up with a baby all night? Like, where are you? No, you're getting a full night's sleep. That's where you are. Thanks to me. You get really resentful. At least I do. And I can be pretty petty. I need to work on that, I guess. But yeah, super petty because I'm super tired. And, I call her my friend on Instagram. We've never met and we've only talked a few times. She talked to me a lot during my pregnancy. Well, I say a lot. Like, we had one discussion during my pregnancy, and then like she kind of videoed me on Instagram last night. And I don't think she realizes that she is now my friend. So, but she was saying, like, she's a mother of 3. She had posted a video of this guy who was so strong. He could just move his body in crazy, crazy ways. And she was like, I live to be this strong again, or at least half of that. And I was like, me too. I want to be strong. I want to do that for myself. I was like, but not right now. I'm too tired. And she was like, girl, I'm like tapped out. She was like, I'm tapped out. And she is kind of the same household as me. Like, the guy works, so she does everything else. And she has 3. I'm telling you, like, moms of multiple children, because I know that I'm done. Like, I'm one and done. And as much as I want Quinn to have a sibling near her age, and as much as I want to redeem myself in my labor, and my friend Jamie will attest to that, like, and I know it sounds awful, because no matter what, I got through it, I did it. But we just kind of have a joke because we were like so loud, and I was just like, I just want to do it again and do better. It's so crazy. Women are crazy. We are crazy. But like, I know that I'm done, and it's only because of how hard it is to do it by yourself. And if I didn't have my sister, I don't know what I would do. I would have to hire a stranger, and I'm so happy that I didn't, because I can't do it by myself. I can't, especially with the internship. Now, if I was a stay-at-home, mom, it would still be hard, and it would suck the life out of me, but it's just really draining to be a stay-at-home mom, and people don't understand that. And so, I'm not saying it's any easier to be a working mom either. Like, here, I'm doing both, which, I don't know, you can say that, okay, yeah, but your internship is unpaid and it's not the same. Fine. If we want to, like, be petty about it, can we just agree that it's all super hard no matter what you're doing? Being a mom is hard no matter what is involved. So, please don't come at me. I think it's all hard. And, but it's all draining. So, here I am. I'm doing the internship. I'm staying at home taking care of her. When I'm not taking care of her, like, I get the little help. And then people would say that going to the office is a break, but it's not. And then, transition from student to therapist is life-changing. Like, this is just another transition. Like, I'm not even going to be the same person again. Like, I can't believe how much I'm changing. Like, I can't believe how much I've changed becoming a mother. And now I have this new chapter, and it's going to change me even more. And I guess it could be scary because I've always tried to hold on to the old me. I don't know why. She was great then, but I suppose I hold on because it's familiar to me. But ultimately, this is just where we are now. And I'm becoming this person that I don't even recognize. And it's crazy. It's crazy to watch these transformations happen. But it's also very hard. And it's very sad. And I don't know. And it just makes me wonder, like, what is it going to look like in a year? How am I going to be? Who's going to be around? I do think I'm changing for the better. I do think, I don't want to say I'm growing up, because quite frankly, I don't want to be like a mature grown up, I just, there's a difference. It's so weird. I just, as I said, I hate to say the word matrix because people think I'm crazy, but I don't think that I was meant to be a part of that world. Because, like, when I hear, like, my supervisor, so she said she pretty much said I was immature and unprofessional, basically. And she's not wrong. She's not wrong. And I'm just, and I wonder what people mean by unprofessional. Like, was it me copying an attitude with her because of certain things? I don't know. Like, why? It's almost like, why shouldn't I get an attitude with you when I feel like you're getting an attitude with me? Like, do I just take this? Because I was trying to defend myself, really, with certain things, and maybe that was unprofessional. I really don't know what her definition of unprofessional is. But then I got to thinking about the whole term in general. And I'm just like, unprofessional. Like, what does she mean? Because what is professional, if you really think about it? And who are these people that think that I owe them anything, right? So it's just kind of like the balance. It's really messed up when you really get to think about it, because a lot of people are like, well, she has experience. And I was like, but does that give her the right to treat people like garbage and expect me not to have emotion? So I don't know. Maybe I am unprofessional, but I guess it all depends on the person. Because it's not like, I think I'm professional where it matters, if that makes sense. But maybe professionalism is tied to everything this internship is in its entirety. So I'm not sure. I held myself accountable. I think that shows merit. I care so much about my clients. I absorb myself and how I can help them. Like, I think these are all what make me me. So if that makes me unprofessional, then okay, that's me. So I don't know. It's like I said, it's been a really weird week. So, and I'm just like, okay, well, I don't want to be professional if it means that I have to put on this facade. I didn't become a therapist because I didn't want to be me anymore. No, I wanted to be a therapist because of me, because of my life experiences, and because I wanted to show up in the world and help people. And that's what I'm doing. And I don't know, like, while I do know I'm going to learn and grow and change, I want it to be authentic, and I want it to be for a purpose. I'm not here to stroke someone's ego or kiss someone's ass or just put my head down and get it done when I feel like I'm being attacked. But ultimately, like I said, I was going through this big chunk where I was getting no validation for the way I was feeling, and why I needed that, I don't know, because if I feel it, if it's there, if it's my emotion, then it's valid and it's important. But I just couldn't accept it. I could not accept it. And I really, especially this week after Monday's meeting, I really started to question myself. I questioned myself as a student, a therapist, and a mother. And, I was like, I am not doing a good job. I am falling apart. I'm not doing a good job. All of these people are right. I need to be stronger. I need to be better, And it was just like, but there was a part of me that was just like, but I'm drowning. Like, I barely have anything left to give. And it was just this really sad moment because I felt very, very alone. And thankfully I talked to a few people, and I'm not gonna lie, their validation like really helped me, because I was like, okay, I don't trust this anymore. So many people have like so many bad things to say. They have not supported me at all. There's been no validation there. And I'm just like, maybe they're right and I'm wrong. And I totally just turned my back on myself. And that's not good. It's not helpful. That's why people believe other people, when ultimately it doesn't matter. Like, I wake up, I take care of my baby all day. We play, we sleep, I feed her. I'm always there for her. That's, like that's a lot. And then now I am a student. I have my classes. I have my internship, and I have all of this, and I'm doing it. And while it took some time to get it all fit in there, I figured it out and I did it with very little to no help. And and now I'm here, and I'm doing it, and while I don't want to live a life where I'm surviving, I think when you have a baby, you just kind of survive for a little while. And so, I'm trying to give myself some credit, but it's really hard when there's no support. And I know I talked a lot about that last week and just not having the support, but it really started to affect me. And like, I couldn't believe like where I ended up. And that is in a place where I'm just questioning myself at every turn. And how sad is that? It's like, I have no confidence, none, not as a mother, not as a therapist. And I'm gonna have to work through that. Like, I have to get out of my own way. And that's like with everything, like even this podcast, anything I touch, I'm just like, yeah, but I'm not good enough, or I don't know. And I'm just like, even like me, I love writing. I am a writer. I love it. And I'm just like, but it's not good. But who fucking cares? Like, who cares if someone doesn't think it's good? Like, I'm a writer. I write. That's who I am. That's my creative outlet. I mean, among other things, but writing and this podcast, they're like my outlets. And here I am. I'm just like, yeah, but it's no good. Like, shush. Don't be so hard on yourself. If you like to write, write. Like, granted, I don't have much time these days, but I have figured out if I either wake up early, I get some time, or if I stay up late and I lay in the bed, I have lots of time. But do I believe I should be allowed some time during the day? Yes, but we're just not there yet. So, for right now, like, I will say I don't wake up extra early unless I'm like getting dressed to go somewhere. Then I do, because I just need the time to get dressed, pump, and then the baby wakes, and usually soon after. So I'm like, hurry up getting dressed. And then I take care of her and pump and things. But other than that, like now, like the other night I stayed up, I had like assignment to do. Or not, I don't know what you call it. I had to do something for my supervisor. And I kind of forgot. Didn't forget. I just got the audio file late. So I was up late doing that. And when I finished, I was like, well, everybody's asleep. I'm not that tired. And I got to write. I went through like all of the stuff that I hadn't seen in a while. And I was like, wow, this feels like so good. Because I know I'm not going to get interrupted right now. And it was so nice, because the only thing I was like doing for myself as of right now was occasionally giving myself a 20-minute bubble bath, and it's just not, like, it was just not enough. And I know I'm going to have to start doing more for myself. It's just kind of figuring it out. And because guilt, man, I say it over and over again, mom guilt is real. Like, not only does society make you feel guilty, but we are hard on ourselves too. And I think I'm just trying to give myself a little grace. With school, I got really upset. But then, I gave myself some grace, and I was just like, you know what? I've never done this before. I'm new, even without a baby. Like, this internship would be hard. And like, I'm sorry if other people out there think I'm doing a bad job. Like, good for them, I guess, because I don't know. I cared so much, and I believed them. But man, at the same time, it's just like, for me personally, and especially going through this, if someone's having a hard time, I'm going to know what I need to do. Like, I'm going to know how to support them. And maybe that's why I went through all of this. But another lesson I want to kind of share with you, and not because I'm saying this is what you need to do, what is right for you. I'm telling you my experience, because if this happens to you, maybe you have something to fall back on. Maybe you feel less alone, which is the whole point of all of this anyway. So I think, like, since I was in this, like, tornado of shame and guilt and self-loathing, basically, and not getting any support, I think that, and then, like, when you get overwhelmed like I did, and I was so overwhelmed, and I was just to the point where I didn't trust myself, my instincts, what I was feeling. And, I'm still working on that. That doesn't just change overnight, right? But I was just so overwhelmed. I had to shut out the noise. I had to. And in my heart, now that I kind of, in my heart, I was just feeling, I was like, I don't want to quit. Like, I think I'm doing well. Like, I think it's okay. Like, I just have to, I had to do like a transition time here. Like, that's all it was. I had to figure it out because I never did it before. And I was like, I don't want to quit. And I want to keep doing this. And I think I'll do really, really good. Like, in my heart, I knew that. But I knew a bigger part of me was believing everyone around me. And also, and this is the lesson I learned, and I want to share it all with you. I know so many people who are just like me in that they will keep their mouth shut in order to avoid confrontation. And I will keep quiet just to keep things at bay. Not necessarily in my relationship, which I think he wishes I would just shut my mouth sometimes, but like in the professional world. So, in that call I had with one of my supervisors, the really hard one, I could have just been like, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. But something didn't feel right about it. Something felt off about it. So I had something to say, and, even when she was emailing me, it felt a bit terse. And I was just like, this doesn't feel right. Like, this doesn't feel professional to me. Like, if we're going to, lecture on professionalism, like, this doesn't feel right. Something's wrong here. And so I had to stick up for myself because, it came down to a scheduling conflict, and my daughter's not allowed to get on these Zoom calls or anything. That's fine. I got it figured out. I'm not going to, die on that hill, whatever. But it was kind of like it came down to scheduling. Well, my scheduling gets, cut way more than half if my daughter can't be there because I care for my daughter. She's not in daycare. And so when she was asking me, she's like, can you give me your availability? I would tell her, the availability I had that day. And it would be like an hour the next day within less than 24 hours. And she was wanting like blocks of time for days on out. And I was just like, I gave you the times that were available. My window at 10, that was my availability. She's like, it's not professional to not give multiple times. And so we were working so long to even get this scheduled. And I was like, I know it's hard to schedule things when I have no time. Because I have my daughter. She's like, I know it's hard, but you have to figure it out. And I was like, I am trying to figure it out. But that's the time I had. And call it unprofessional, but that's the time I had. And I was like, I told you it had to be near the call or, on these other days. I was like, because I don't have childcare every day. And I was like, and I can't call in childcare for a 30-minute meeting every time you want to have one. So, I really felt like I wasn't being met in the middle with this. And so I was just like, I was like, and I wouldn't say I was rude. I think that I was talking to her the way she was talking to me, because I think that just because someone is your authority or has more experience than you or has a PhD, whatever it is, I don't think that gives you a right to talk to people however you want them to talk to you. And I'm not sure when that change happened for me because, I used to get intimidated by people. I did. At one point, I really did. Like, if they had more money than me or, whatever, like in any situation, I would get intimidated. But that changed. I'm not really sure when. But what I do know is back even in my 20s, while I'm not sure when that switch kind of flipped, I will say, like, I had bosses, but just because they were my bosses, like, that didn't matter to me. Yeah, I could do my work and I can be a good employee, but I don't, like, you don't scare me because you're my boss or you have experience or you make more, because at the end of the day, we all put our pants on the same. And it's just kind of like, this person's human, just like I'm human. Just because they have experience, they're older, or they're richer, it does not mean shit. Doesn't mean shit. So, I can remember at my last job, the owner of the company or the president of the company, whatever, everybody's like, oh, the president of the company's coming. Everybody dress nice and, sit up straight and all that. They were like, all of their demeanors changed. And I was like, why? He's just a human man. Like, I guess maybe they didn't want to lose their jobs, but I didn't like that job anyway, so I didn't really give a shit. I ended up walking out anyway, because I had, like, the worst coworkers ever, but whatever. That's a different story for a different day. And, even, like, it was just, and I guess that same mentality is happening right now. Yes, these people have experience. They give me my grades. They can decide, if I move forward or not. And a part of me is like, if these people keep me from doing what I was meant to do, then I think, like, that's on them. It's not my karma because I'm on this path. And, if they're just being spiteful and toying with my livelihood, then I think that's their karma. And I don't know. I don't really buy into the whole people are better than me thing, because nobody's better than anybody. Nobody. And we're all human beings on this crazy ride. This human experience is freaking hard. And while I did have a moment there where I was, like, believing what people were saying, like, because I was not getting that validation, I'm now, like, I'm glad that I said something. Because while, I shouldn't need validation, I did, because I was lost. I was drowning. And, like, yesterday, I could have not said anything because, someone was like, I got an email from so-and-so. And I was like, did you get one email or two? Because I knew one email would be like an introduction. If you got two, then I know it's probably about what's happening with me right now. So she was like, it's two. And I was like, then I guess I should tell you what's going on. She's like, what's going on? And so I told her everything. And, like, I could have just let it go. I could have not said anything, because I knew that she was going to contact these people and talk to them. And I just didn't want that to happen. I just wanted it to all go away. Like, I wanted to just put my head down. I just wanted to put my head down and do the work, and that's not me either. Like, it is me to put my head down and do the work, but to just let something go like that when I feel it's not right. But I got to that point and I was just like, I don't like where this is going. But I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to tell her everything. And I guess I'm just going to have to deal with whatever backlash. But because I chose not to run from the confrontation, I got what I needed. I got the support I needed. I can say validation. I guess that I needed the validation. I did. And I got support that I needed so desperately, all because I decided, you know what? I might be scared of the confrontation, but I got all of these things that I needed by facing that fear. And it's just, fear can run your effing life. It can, like, it can like, oh my gosh. It can run your life. It has run mine for a long time, pretty much all of it. And look, it can creep back in too. Like you just see, it can creep back in. And I'm just like, I'm like, wow, I really needed that. And this happened yesterday. And I was like, I really needed that. And then like, I just got a text message and she's like, I talked to so-and-so. It went really well. I'll talk to you this afternoon. And I'm just like, okay, I'm glad it went well. But I'm glad, I didn't know they were all talking, but I'm glad that it went well. But it is all because like, I said something, I stood up for myself, you know, because like, even if nobody agreed with me, I could still say, but I think I'm doing it. And maybe your standards are different than mine. Maybe your, idea of professionalism and things like that are different than mine. And that's okay. Maybe let's talk about it and come to a common understanding. I think assuming can be one of the most detrimental things that we can do because we can't really be sure what's going to happen ever. And for me, I know that I have a bad habit of thinking the worst just because so many bad things have happened. And rightfully so, I can be scared, but ultimately, like, I'm so glad I faced that fear and was willing to take whatever I was going to get by telling my story. And like, it's true, you get backlash, and like, I don't know, like, maybe my grades will be impacted. Maybe I'll have to redo all of this practicum. I have no idea. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen by being open and honest about my experience. But honestly, I feel a lot better. I feel supported, maybe not from the people that I thought I would. And that's another thing. When we have these expectations of people, and you shouldn't have expectations from anyone, because when these expectations are not met, you have resentment. Like, had I not expected certain people to support me, I would have never been hurt by them. But I did. I guess certain people you just assume, you're like, oh, well, they'll be there for me. But when they're not, it's extra painful. So I guess my takeaway from all of this is just to give yourself a little grace. If you're not getting the validation that you feel that you need, but in your heart, then I'm going to tell you right now, like, you're right, and go with that. Go with that instinct. Even if everything around you is not making sense, even if you're getting more feedback that is negative than good, just, you got to learn to shut out that noise and go what's in your heart, because it's there and it's there for a reason. And I know, like, I asked the universe, this is all me, I asked the universe to help me work that intuition muscle, and now I get it. Like, now I feel it. Now I know what I'm looking for when it comes to intuition. And I'm just like, because I knew I was doing a good job. I knew where I was supposed to be, even if it didn't look pretty, even if I was floundering and struggling. Of course I'm struggling. I got a 4-month-old and I'm doing an internship and I do everything at home, and like, it's not easy. And I'm for some reason I'm trying to think like I need to do it all, but no, I don't. And if I am doing it all, then I can be honest about it not being easy. I can be honest about saying I'm drowning. Like, I can be honest and say, hey, I'm tapped out. Sorry, like, I need your help because I can't do it all by myself anymore. And it doesn't have to be pretty. I don't know why everybody thinks life has to be pretty or look pretty. It effing doesn't, especially when you're a new mom trying to figure it out. But I guess I'll shut it down here. Thank you so much for being here. This is just always so good for me. This is my therapy since I haven't even seen my own therapist. And as always, I'm so happy that you're here. Contact me, talk to me, whatever outlet you find, website, email, basementphilosophies@gmail.com, basementphilosophies.com. You can contact me there. I actually did write something if you want to check it out, but I'll post it. And then you can find me on Instagram, Basement Philosophies, and you can talk to me there too. I'm always available. And if there's any way I can pray for you, please come and contact me. Let me know and I will make that happen. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to all of you soon.